Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So a couple of highlights from the latest SBI report. Yeah, they just put out a report yesterday, July the 31st, 2025, if you guys are watching this video on the day that I'm releasing it. This courtesy of the Wrath of Kahneman, okay? Some details about adoption. So I guess we should bring up the report here. SBI Holdings, Inc. financial results, okay, for the 3-month period. This is the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2026. And it goes into a whole bunch of a lot of details, a lot of statistics here. What Wrath of Kahneman notices, though, SBI cites Ripple payments in use by 100 plus financial institutions across 500 countries. So this is different than the often cited 300 financial institutions, which may be using other products. So something to make note of there. They seem to be for crypto ETFs, including XRP. So they've listed it in there, okay? Bitcoin and XRP ETFs, obviously big on their list. And also SBI plans on using the RLUSD. Note the restrictions on the JPY-backed stablecoin too. So they seek to begin handling RLUSD issued by Ripple within the fiscal year. That's what they stated in there. Some other things that I wanted to just mention here: since March 31st, 2020, SBI Holdings and since September 30th, 2019, SBI Global Asset Management have started to provide the crypto asset XRP to shareholders as a benefit. I don't know if you guys remember when they started that program. And then effective just earlier, last month now, today is the 1st of August, July 8th, 2025, BTC, Ethereum, and XRP handled by SBI VC Trade were introduced as redemption options for A+ points. So I also did talk about that last month. And then there's the distribution of XRP, partly held in Ripple, okay? This is interesting because it is very descriptive. Wrath of Kahneman commenting, still the best infographic about total XRP circulation updated. So this is SBI Holdings fiscal year end report, 36 billion left in escrow. So distribution of XRP partly held by Ripple, as we know. So the burnt escrow we know is approximately 10 million XRP. XRP circulated in the market around 59, so roughly 60, but we'll call it 59.24 billion XRP. Market capitalization equals about 28.6 trillion Japanese yen. So they're denominating that in the yen because it is a Japanese company. Max supply 100 billion. Current Ripple's holdings that are not in circulation equivalent to approximately 19.7 trillion yen. As of the end of March 25, the equivalent was about 13.4 trillion. Actual XRP, guys, approximately 4.85 billion XRP. And under escrow, about 35.9 billion XRP. So there isn't as much XRP in circulation as some may think. Also, we got to consider all the XRP that's been lost, all the XRP that you and I hodl and that we're not relinquishing. A function in which XRP tokens provided on XRP Ledger are locked and their use or destruction prohibited until certain conditions are met. So based on information available from XRP Ledger as of July 20, 2025, nearly 40% of the total supply of XRP in escrow and Ripple is not free to sell them off. So, and this gives you guys a visualization exactly how much visualized is in escrow, actual XRP in circulation, and how much XRP is burnt versus how much XRP there is total. So an interesting infographic there. Wanted to thank the Wrath of Kahneman just for commenting and giving us those statistics. Now, sticking with Japan, guys, Michael Branch posting this, XRP to become the backbone of tokenized real estate in Japan. We've discussed MUFG and tokenizing real estate in Japan before, and so now Japan is stepping boldly into the future of finance, and XRP appears to be at the heart of this evolution. In a major move that could redefine how assets are exchanged and recorded, the country's largest bank, Mitsubishi UFJ Financial Group, or MUFG, is getting ready to tokenize real estate using blockchain infrastructure on the XRP ledger. While much of the global market chases speculative hype, essentially in this bull market, Japan is quietly laying the groundwork for a tokenized economy. In a rather lengthy social media post on July the 27th, crypto analyst Pompeius shared insights on Japan's growing interest in XRP. The bank, MUFG, is already transforming Japan's real estate sector through blockchain by placing XRP at the center of its tokenization strategy. This move signifies a major shift from pilot concepts to full-scale infrastructure deployment as MUFG prepares to tokenize real estate for both institutional and retail markets. So, guys, it's happening. MUFG, as some of you may know already, has long ties with Ripple, including a previous collaboration. It's also one of those consortium of banks that did commit to using Ripple several years ago now. The analyst reported that MUFG's real estate tokenization plans, though, hint at a larger paradigm of significant change in Japan's financial system, where e-liquid physical assets are being converted into fluid on-chain financial instruments. This initiative appears to go beyond technical evolution, representing foundational change in how assets are issued, transferred, and settled. So with Japan entering a new phase of blockchain adoption, Pumpius argues that XRP as the underlying settlement layer makes real estate tokenization not just possible, but scalable. And that's what's important here. He also points out that MUFG's stake in SBI Ripple Asia, which connects 80% of Japan's banks to XRP solutions, reinforces cryptocurrency's growing status as the core infrastructure of the nation's blockchain-based financial future. So boom, there you go. Some more integration with regards to Japan's economy, real estate economy in this case. So we got the financial economy, real estate, understanding how XRP functions from SBI Group, which is, have been one of the largest Ripple stakeholders from the beginning. They were invested in Ripple long time ago. So wanted to thank the Wrath Economan and Michael Branch for posting that. With regards to the RLUSD, some naysayers out there were stating that RLUSD will replace XRP. Well, that's just not the truth. David Schwarz did comment on this a couple of days ago. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I'm pretty sure XRP's use as a bridge in Ripple payments dwarfs other assets, okay? Every other asset specifically. So just think of that for a second, okay? XRP's use as a bridge. So you think about XRP native to the XRP ledger. Now you think about all the other blockchains and the tokens that they use. XRP is the one that is the most used on any blockchain as a native bridge. I think stablecoins win for collateral use cases. So he's commenting on that. Volatile collateral is annoying. The edge use cases, volatility at the on and off ramps is also annoying. For almost everything else, though, I still think digital assets work better. Unless you're risk adverse, you'd probably prefer to hold most top tier digital assets over cash. I also think that more use of the XRP ledger for real financial use cases will translate to more utility and value for XRP. So that's coming directly from David Schwarz. XRP has a privileged place on the XRP ledger and is not as likely to get worked around as, say, Ethereum has been. So because it's so effective and so efficient as well, people are going to continue to use XRP. There are use cases being built around it, and more of them are popping up every single day. I mean, we're seeing it in Japan currently, but, also in many other parts of the world. Switching gears a little bit here, I happen to see this from Ashley Prosper, and I thought I'd share it for you guys who perhaps invested in Link2 or with Link2 as promised. I've been searching for a law firm in the UK to represent our collective interests in the Link2 Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So on top of what John Deaton is doing, this is something else. If you guys are, if you guys maybe lost some money through a Link2 investment, I will link this in the description of the video. You guys can follow Ashley Prosper on Twitter if you're not already. To register your interest, please fill in the form in the link below. If you know someone who has been affected by this who is not on X, please share the link with them. So like I said, I will link this too in the description of the video. The form is right there. So I wanted to thank Ashley Prosper and Unknown DLT for posting those. Guys, this also came out from RedPay. XRP is now available on RedPay. So integrating XRP into another application. Great news they're saying here. We're excited to share that XRP is now officially supported on the RedPay app. Users can now deposit and spend XRP through RedPay, unlocking greater flexibility and convenience when interacting with digital assets globally. So the launch is scheduled, I guess it was scheduled yesterday. You can deposit July 31st at 4 p.m. UTC. You can spend on the same day. Withdrawal available from August 7th, 4 p.m. So you guys can try it there. I don't know if this is a link or that's just a photograph. I'm surprised they wouldn't put a link to their actual product here. But anyway, the company is Red.Pay. I'm sure you can Google them and find them wherever you are. On the one hand, we have cryptocurrency adoption making the world more seamless, and I think for a lot of us, a lot easier to pay for things. The flip side, I think, is the privacy issue, and we've got the WEF founder Klaus Schwab. In this new world, we must accept total transparency. Now, when I hear this kind of thing, I think to myself, oh no, this is not good. We need to protect our privacy at all costs. And again, it's a double-edged sword, right? Because with the digitization of finance, cash is going to slowly move to the side. I still personally like using cash for transactions, certain transactions. I spent some time in Dubai this past winter, and I always had cash on hand. I love Dubai because there's no negative connotation when using cash. I know in some countries, if you have a business that is a cash-only business, there's some negative connotations, I think, that tend to go along with that. But Dubai is a very different place, very forward-thinking, also very crypto-forward. Anyway, I want to share this clip of Klaus Schwab explaining just that. Now, it's in French. He's speaking French in this clip, so I'm going to just read the subtitles as I play it. So, in this new world, we must accept transparency, he says. And I'll even say total transparency. Everything is going to be transparent. And you have to get used to it. You have to behave accordingly. It becomes, how should I put it, integrated into your personality. But if you have nothing to hide, you shouldn't be afraid. Yeah, that coming from the founder of the World Economic Forum. But on the flip side, we got SEC Chairman Paul Atkins encouraging self-custody for cryptos. This tells me two things, says Wendy O. Listen to this.
The right to have self-custody of one's private property is a core American value. I believe deeply in the right to use a self-custodial digital wallet to maintain personal crypto assets and participate in on-chain activities like staking.
In the United States, they're taking a bit of a different approach. Self-custodying your cryptocurrencies, keeping your privacy, or maintaining your privacy. So Wendy says, this makes me think of two things. T here on Twitter saying, let me guess. 1, they can't stop what they can't control. And 2, centralized exchange risks are becoming too obvious to ignore. The pendulum swings towards decentralization as it should. Not your keys, not your coins. A lesson learned the hard way by many. Guys, I've always maintained this rule for myself. When you have life-changing amounts of crypto that you've purchased, that you've invested in, you should always keep them safe on a cold storage wallet. So personal private custody. I personally use the Ledger Nano. I do have an affiliate link, by the way, in the description of the video. You can use it if you want. You don't have to use it. I put it there, though, for ease of use. So, if you do use it, it is greatly appreciated. But at the end of the day, you need to keep your crypto safe. I've never had a problem with the Ledger Nano, and I've been using it since 2017. Guys, always keep your cryptocurrency safe because you never know which exchange might get hacked next. Don't keep your crypto on the exchange. That's a crypto noob behavior. They expect the exchanges will have real ownership and manipulation. And number 2, they think existing banks will not be ready to pivot fast enough. Are those the two things? That's unexpected, says Tom Dulles here. Maybe Gensler finally read the fine print on not your keys, not your coins. If regulators are now encouraging self-custody, does that legitimize decentralization, or is that just strategic optics? So interesting here. I'm actually kind of curious what Wendy O has to think about this. So I wanted to thank Wendy for posting that. Guys, in a world that's becoming more and more transparent, dare I say, unfortunately, we do have guys like Jim Rickards. So this is the light at the end of the tunnel. People are saying, he says in quotes, is not my idea of a reliable source. That said, even the IMF needs devs, and I'm sure Ripple has some good ones. So he's referring to Ripple's developers there. That doesn't mean XRP will be a reserve asset. Guys, you know what he does say here? More like it's an ESDR. So Jim Rickards here stating XRP could be an ESDR. I've gone over this topic in the past, but just to give you guys an idea of what he's saying here. Okay, the SDR is an international reserve asset. So the SDR, but if we're talking about an ESDR, it would be an electronic version of that. The SDR is not a currency, but its value is based on a basket of 5 currencies. In this case, the US dollar, the euro, the Chinese renminbi, the Japanese yen, and the British pound sterling. Well, guys, if Jim Rickards is saying XRP could be an ESDR, I think that says a lot. I want to remind you of this roundtable that Jim Rickards had with a few other people. He discusses Bitcoin XRP, DLT technology in general. I want to play you guys a couple of clips. Listen to this.
Yeah, the dollar is an encrypted digital asset. You might have a couple bucks in your pocket, but you don't really use it. You use credit cards, debit cards, direct pay. You pay your bills automatically. The whole FedWire system is all digital. Has been. The last paper treasury note was 1982, I think. So, and all that message traffic is encrypted. So the dollar is a digital cryptocurrency, which shows that, but it doesn't have a distributed ledger, that's the real innovation. That's what makes crypto kind of interesting, is the digital distributed ledger, not the currency itself.
There are some cryptos that are working with regulators and are working with banks.
I agree.
Ripple would be an example.
Ripple would
XRP.
be an example, right.
Now this is and I can imagine in the next 5 years, instead of us doing sterling against the dollar or sterling against yen and doing these kinds of transactions, we'll do sterling versus Ripple. And the reason being, dollar right now is a 2-day settlement. With something like Ripple, you could do settlement in seconds. And I think that there's a future there where the guy that's trading spot FX today will be trading spot FX against Ripple in the future, in the next 2 or 3 years. So I think that Ripple has a great future because it's right now supported by all the banks and by all the regulators.
And it has an elastic monetary base, right?
So
Well,
if we take that and you go to the blockchain ledger, if you take that concept that you're discussing, I have no problem with it. I agree with it.
That's true. There has to be a reserve asset. He's pulling it back to gold. Now, this clip was from a few years ago now. But guys, he's commenting. Ripple has some good ones. He's also saying XRP could be an ESDR, so special drawing rights, an international reserve currency, maybe based on a basket, or could it be that it survives alone? Think about how high price would go if it was the SDR. Think about this for a second, guys. If it's being used for, well, the transfer of value in the financial system, but not just that, so many other applications for XRP, like in Japan, guys, real estate, and that's just one of them. Jim Rickards seems to think it is a possibility. I don't know, guys. What do you think? For more opinions on where I think this market's going to go, you can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. I've rolled back prices $5 a month. If you subscribe and stay subscribed, you can lock in. Old school price is $5 a month. I know I do not want to make the same mistakes twice, so I've learned a lot from the last bull run. I'm trying to pinpoint the top of the market. I am attempting to cash out for maximum profit. So if you guys want to see what I'm doing, I'm opening up my portfolio. Follow me, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. And I know some of you guys are interested in the merch. I do have the Working Money Channel merch store. Link is in the description of the video if you guys, I don't know, want to purchase, a Bearable Guy shirt or an XRP hat. Maybe an XRP mug. Lots to choose from here. Again, link is in the description of the video. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.